Hey guys, a quick video here that I'm going to do to walk you through how to set up a MailerLite sales page. Okay, now this is a sort of a setup I'm actually doing for a client, and my client has agreed to help, let me use it for training purposes. So it's a great opportunity for you to sort of learn how to do these. I recently started using this specific method. I have somebody who does my web pages, my sales pages, but I found that, going back and forth sometimes makes it really difficult to design the look of it. So what I ended up doing is I created my sales template, my flow, everything on Canva in a template, and then I transferred it over to MailerLite. It's really easy if you're not a tech savvy person. Following through this walkthrough will make it super easy, super fast. It just means that you don't have to wait around for somebody else to code your website. You can basically set it up and start selling within a day. I guarantee you, if you have the templates already created with the right verbiage, which I already have in this case, it's going to be really easy. But I'll walk you through this really quickly so you have an idea of what it entails, and I'll also share with you a free gift at the end. So stay tuned. All right, so let me just share my screen here. All right, so this is actually, I'm going to put this over here so I'm protecting my client's information. Okay, all right, so here we have a brand new MailerLite account. There's no subscribers here. If I go back into the dashboard, you can see there's no subscribers. So I'm going to go into the sites. Okay, this is where you set up any any sort of intake page or subscription page right on MailerLite. Now, most people don't use this. Most people use their own website, which is fantastic. But like I said, my web guy, it takes a while for him to implement all the things that I want, and I have to give him specific instructions on, the copy and all of that. So this way, I get to create it ahead of time and say, hey, recreate this over on my website. Okay. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit create a landing page. Ignore this. This is because it's a brand new account. I think up to 4 or 5 days you get a premium, you get access to premium. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's more than, maybe it's like 7 days. You get access to all the premium features. We're not going to use any of those. You won't need to use any of those to successfully run this. Okay, so I'm going to create the landing page and I'm going to call this is basically the name of the offer. So I'm going to say sales page. The reason I do that is because we're also going to create a thank you page. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to go into Canva. Actually, I already have everything downloaded. So open this one. So this is all the graphics that I'm going to upload here. Okay. And then I'm going to say, okay. So it's going to ask you to select a subscriber group. What that means is everybody that purchases through this opt-in is going to get sent to that group. Now you don't have to, you can create a new one. So how you would do that, I'll just quickly show you, is you're going to go into subscribers. You're going to click groups. This is basically another word for lists. So if you think about Facebook lists, or even on other email platforms, they're called lists. But over here on MailerLite, they're called groups. So groups of customers. So I'm going to call them these people self-care kit customers. Okay, I'm going to do that. So, and I'm then going to change this over. So I'm going to go back to sites. Now we've created this. I'm going to hit edit. Okay, now which template you pick is not going to be relevant because we are creating it from a blank template. Unfortunately, MailerLite does not offer us a blank template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the one that comes up first. I'm going to say select. It's going to open up here. Sorry about that. Just had to get my mouse connected. Okay, so we're just waiting for everything to load up because I'm recording. My computer is a little bit slow, so apologies for that. All right, so this is what you're gonna see when that template loads up. It's still actually loading. So you're gonna actually see the images that you saw in that preview right here. Okay, so one thing to note in when you come into these sales page or when you create these sites, there's going to be two separate options up top here. So you have the blocks and you have the settings. So the blocks are these individual blocks for text or images or videos or anything like that. So here, all the content, different types of content blocks. So you have the columns, you have the testimonials with star ratings, you got the 3 columns, the buttons, all of those are the blocks. But when you go into those individual blocks, you can then go into settings, okay? So if I click on this and go into settings, then I have the ability to manipulate all of these individual blocks. So just a quick guide for you there. So what we're going to do in this case, we're going to delete all of these blocks that have already been added because like I said, we're not going to use any of them. Okay, so we're just going to delete them. Okay, so once you come there, that's all you're going to see. Now, all of the information that I'm going to be putting in is going to be as images, okay? So there's 11 of them. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add 11 image blocks into this space. So you can add one and then you can just keep copying them. So you're duplicating them and I'm just going to count it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we've got 11 blocks to drop those images. Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to upload the images into this space. So you're going to click on the first block and it's going to select the content pane for that block. You're going to see the image icon here. So you're going to click on browse. Okay. And you're going to hit upload image. Now, even though we're only putting one image in there, we're going to actually upload all of them into the back end of MailerLite. So you're going to select all, which is Command A or Control A on your keyboard, and then you're going to click open. So what's going to happen is everything is going to get loaded up into your file manager. Okay, because as you can see, this is called a file manager. Once it's uploaded, we're going to pick the one that goes on that first image. So I've I downloaded them accordingly numbered. If you're doing this on Canva, it actually comes numbered unless you're creating this inside of like a really long canvas or a really large canvas which has multiple pages. So in that case, before you upload it, I would recommend that you rename or number your images so that you know the order that it's going to go on. So you're not missing, you're not, confusing yourself as you're doing it. So I'm going to pick this one and then click select. So that one's going to go on the first. Okay. Then I'm going to pick this one. All right. Then we're going to browse. I'm going to do number 2, select. Then number 3. So we just have to duplicate this process for all of them. Okay. So I'm just going to pause the video for a second here and upload the rest. Okay, so now I have uploaded all of the 10, actually I thought it was 11, but there's actually 10 graphics all into those image cards. So we can see I've got 10 here. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that these spaces between disappear. Okay, can you see these spaces? Because if I go into the preview mode, it's going to show me what it's going to look like right now. Okay, so let's take a look really quick. So this is what it's going to look like on your mobile device, or sorry, on your desktop. And then this is what's going to look like on mobile. Okay, see how there's like a space in between each page? We want to get rid of that because this is designed so that these colors sort of seamlessly connect with each other. Okay. Now there's still going to be a little tiny space just to show that there are 2 different pages, but you'll see what I mean. Now, if you want to avoid that, you can create this background in one color. Okay. Let's go back here. How do I go back? Okay, there we go. X out of there. All right, so the way you do that is you click on that image button and then you hit it. This is where we uploaded the image. You click on settings and you reduce the top spacing and the bottom spacing to 0. This should be set to wide. Okay. Now we're going to go down all the way down to see. You're going to see when I click on this one and go into settings, it's going to take that spacing completely away. Okay, well, not completely. There's still going to be a little tiny separator there. That's not something we can avoid. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay. So we're going to do that for each of the little images that we have. Okay. So I can pause that and finish this up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have reduced the spacing all the way down to 0 in all of the images, both top and bottom. Now what we're going to do is put a background color into the back here. Okay, so we're going to click on each piece of content, going to settings, we're going to hit background. Okay, so we're going to click on the background color. We're going to turn the background on. So before I put the background, let's take a look at a quick preview to see how it shows up. Okay, so as you can see, now it's seamless, right? There's no little nicks and cuts in between. This one's a little bit off, so it's something we can probably adjust on our image. And if you can look, like there's Everything is pretty seamless, like all of the pages blend together. And yeah, that's kind of how it looks. So awesome. Right, so let me X out of that. Now we're going to make sure that we put color to the background. So what's the color I'm going to put on my background? I'm probably going to put this green because that's sort of the grounding color. So this is supposed to be the sky, this is supposed to be sky color, and the green is supposed to be the ground color, right? So I'm going to put the green, the lighter green. I'm just going to grab that over on my Canva. Okay, so I'm going to now change up the background color, all right, so that we make sure that this whole thing is looking complete. Because if I go into the preview mode, I should probably show you this. In the mobile app, I don't think it makes a huge difference. Well, it kind of does. It still does, like on the sides, right? On the desktop, if you can see, there's like two lines on the side. So we want to get rid of that. Okay, we want to give them a complete sort of picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the background. So you can go into any, pretty much any sort of image, and you can click background, and you can click the color palette. You can click any of these, but if you wanted to do your own custom color, you're going to click on more colors. Okay, and then you're going to have to pick a color, or you can type in the background color you want. So I'm going to be using the green for the background color, because that's the grounding color. That's, you know, it's supposed to be the grass. In this case, that's the idea. So I'm going to be putting that on. And you can also upload a background image. So if you wanted to keep this same theme going, okay, you could pretty much upload this, like the background, without the images, so this kind of flows. It's harder to do with these little cutouts, because it's quite hard to align everything together. Okay, so I personally, I wouldn't take that effort. It's just too much work. Now, once you upload the background color, there's a message that pops up that says, do you want to apply these settings to all visible image blocks? And then you can also check apply to all newly added blocks. So I'm not gonna add any new blocks. I'm just gonna hit apply, so that the background gets applied all across the whole page. Okay, so one thing to note, anytime you're doing these sales pages, never, 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 never click back, because you will lose it unless you save. So it's always good, as a best practice, as you're doing this, to save your work. Okay, now if you notice, there's a join our amazing Facebook community right here button, sort of, you know, banner up there. One thing to note that is that with this particular way that we're doing it, because we're doing it as a image, you cannot add a link to just this strip. So this is why there's another button down here. So if somebody clicks on this, they're going to be clicking on the whole image. They don't need to know that. All they need to do is, if they click on it, they're going to get to the page, okay? The page that you want them to go. So here's how we add the link into that. So I'm just going to grab the link for Melanie's group. Okay, so I'm just going to grab her group here. It's called Hair Care Routine. I'm going to just copy this link down once it opens. Okay, Copy that. And then I'm going to move over to, oops, that's not the right one. Move over to here. And then when I click this image, there's going to be a link option here. I'm going to paste that link in there. And I'm also going to click open link in a new tab. What this does is when they click on it, they're still gonna stay on this page. It's just gonna open on a new tab, which is what we want because we don't want people to lose this page. Okay. And you can also align the image whichever way you want. I'm not going to do that because if you do it left, nothing's really going to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it center. Sometimes if the image is really small, it might align left or right. Okay, so I'm going to save that. So now if you notice, my cursor turned into a little pointer, so that just indicates that when you click on it, it's going to go to the payment Facebook group. Okay, the last thing I want to note is at the very bottom, I've created a click here to buy now button right on the image. Again, we're going to use the same principle over here to put your link to your PayPal button. Okay, now I have a separate training on how you can do that, how to create your PayPal button. Now, the one thing I do want to tell you is that when you use this method, when you send them to PayPal, this is mainly good if you're selling a service where you don't have to send an automated email to send the product information to them. So the PayPal button will generally be connected to paying for a service, for a consultation, so that you will have to then manually send them a automated email saying, hey, here's your call information or something like that, right? And on the thank you page, we're going to have a message that says, hey, here's your call information. Here's where you go to set up your call, kind of thing. So that can be built over on this tab where it's called the success page. Now, I'm actually not going to use this for this particular project. I'm creating a separate page with a separate link, because one thing when you're creating the success pages here, this is going to, both of these are going to have the same link. So once they click here, because they're going all the way out to PayPal, you want to have a separate link to redirect them to a separate success page or a thank you page. Okay, so I'm gonna be making a second thank you page and directing them back here, and I'm gonna use the same exact method. I'm gonna have a graphic created and uploaded onto a site template just like this with a thank you message with directions on what to do next. Ideally, I will be putting Melanie's Facebook group link in that, as well as any other information that you want to give them. So for example, if it's a physical product, you can tell them that there is information being emailed to them, or if it's a calendar event that they need to create to book an appointment, then you would put your calendar link in that thank you page, so that once they have paid for it, now they get the opportunity to get into your calendar. I hope this is helpful, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments of wherever you're seeing this video. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, fantastic rest of the day. Bye-bye.